I'm abducted the day before my wedding. My abductors lock me in a dark cellar and repeatedly violate me. My legs are snapped and I'm thrown out with a pile of trash while undressed. Someone takes a photo of me and shares it online. My family finds me a disgrace, so they send me to a hospital in the suburbs and hide me there. After half a year of treatment, my ovaries are removed due to extensive damage. My broken legs can't recover and I lose the ability to walk. I'm supposed to be a rising star in dancing. Now, however, I'm forced to spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. I can't even have children anymore. The Levy family sees photos of me online and immediately calls off my engagement to their son, Quentin Levy. They call me a shameless woman. Then they make Quentin marry my sister, Laura Sorensen. I think my family will pity me, but my grandfather calls me a disgrace. He wants to disown me. At that moment, Quentin's brother, Elias Levy, proposes to me. You've only had eyes for my brother in the past. Now that he's married, will you give me a chance to care for you? He sounds determined and the heartache in his eyes moves me. I agree to marry him. After we're married, Elias gives me the love and care I need. He doesn't allow anyone to harm me. A year later, I complete my treatment earlier than expected and return home to surprise him for our anniversary. That's when I overhear his conversation with my brother. Elias, I helped you trick Jean out of the house 2 years ago, leading to her abduction and torture. That's why she's like this now. So you can't let her down. I did all of this for Laura's happiness. As for Jean, I'll make sure she doesn't have to worry about survival for the rest of her life. Elias, Jean's latest medical report just came in. Not even the best treatments abroad can help her walk again. She'll never dance again and she can't have kids anymore. Don't you think we went too far? If we hadn't broken her legs, how else would Laura have gotten her spot on stage? Jean only lost her legs. If we hadn't done it, Laura would have lost the love of her life and everything she's worked for. Laura's pregnant now and she's happier than ever. I don't regret a thing. I'd do anything for Laura. Elias Levy's and Melvin Sorensen's voices drifted in from the living room. My mind went totally blank at that. One was the man I used to look up to and care about, and the other was my own brother. I thought they were the ones who would always guide me. Turned out they were the ones who shoved me into the dark. I remembered everything. After I was assaulted, the police came to the hospital to take my statement. The two of them stood outside my ward, saying they didn't want me to go through a second trauma. They even talked me into dropping the charges, for the sake of my reputation, saying it was the best way to move on. I thought they were looking out for me. I never saw that they were just covering their own backs. I couldn't face the truth, so I rushed outside into the pouring rain. My wheelchair slipped and I went straight into traffic. I barely managed to dodge a car, but I ended up with a high fever for 3 days and ended up in the ICU. Ever since then, my body had been weak. The moment Elias found out I was in the hospital, he showed up instantly. Jean, this is all my fault. I should have taken better care of you. I brought your favorite seafood chowder. Let me feed you, okay? He said softly. If I hadn't overheard what he'd said earlier, I would have believed, just like everyone else, that he was a loving, devoted husband. However, for the first time, I looked away and pulled back from him. Elias, do you regret marrying someone as dirty and worthless as me? I asked. His eyes went wide in shock. Don't you ever say that about yourself. You're just as beautiful to me as you've always been. How could I ever regret marrying you? I lowered my head, letting my hair fall over my cold, empty stare. A bitter smile curled at my lips. He loved me, so he destroyed me, left me broken and humiliated. Also, I'd have no choice but to stay with him. But this wasn't love. He was a monster, a madman. Elias was in love with Laura Sorensen, the foster daughter who grew up with the Sorensen family. If you truly love me, would you dare touch me? I asked, lifting my chin and staring him down. Elias looked back at me with that same rehearsed tenderness. Of course I would, he blurted out. I just don't want to hurt you. You're still recovering and I'd be crushed if I did. He quickly reached for my hands. I pulled back, refusing to let him touch me. We'd been married for a year, and not once had he laid a hand on me. Every time he gave me the same excuse, and like an idiot I believed him. Once I was on the mend, Elias said he wanted to bring me back to Levy Manor for the family's monthly dinner. I was worn out and still reeling from one thing after another, and all I wanted was to rest, so I turned him down, but he wasn't having it. His concern for me had vanished.